Okay, so I have some questions for you. First of all, I'm going to assume that most of you are either business owners or business executives based on who's putting this shit in their gun. Is that right? How many people are owners? Okay, everybody's an owner or executive. Okay, so here's my questions for you. I have three of them. Question number one. How much time have you spent in, say, the last 5 years? How much time, how much money, how much energy, how much focus, how many resources have you spent on business transition planning or business succession planning in the last 5 years? That includes consultants, that includes meetings, that includes putting manuals together, putting together the structures of things, preparing, training those people who are going to take positions, all of that. And I know you can't give me it's X number of minutes or X number of hours and days or whatever, and so many dollars. I just want you to think about, in totality, was this a pretty big deal? Okay? That's question one. Question two. How much of those same resources, the time, money, yada, 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 have you spent in those same 5 years on family succession planning or family transition planning? A couple guys are right there going, what? Okay, which is really one of the two answers I normally get. I ask that question a lot of business owners, and I usually get one of two answers. The first answer I normally get is none. The second answer I get most of is, what are you talking about? Which means the answer is none, right? Okay, because they don't know what I'm talking about. So the third question is, in terms of importance, is it more important to you that your business is successful 2 generations from now, or more important to you that your family is successful 2 generations from now? I'm seeing some kind of worried looks out there, all right? And that's a legitimate question. I want you to think about that, because if it's more important, if it's as important or more important that your family be successful 2 generations from now than that your business is, then the question is, how much time are you spending comparatively? How much resources are you spending comparatively? Because if you're spending all your time, money, and resources on business succession planning and doing nothing over here, or very little over here on the family side, Houston, we have a problem. Okay, that's an issue. If that's what your goal is, that what your desired outcome is. Now, I think I can get away with this because I'm looking out there and most of the people out there seem to be my age or older. So to put it another way, this is what Kenny Rogers in the first edition were talking about late in the 60s when they were singing the song, now it's time to just drop in and see what condition your condition is in. That's what we need to do here. What's your condition is your condition in? I'm looking out there, you guys, I gotta tell you from this side, it's really funny. Because all the people who are my age and older, they're sitting out there going, yep, he's right. The rest of you, some of them have no clue what I'm talking about. Others are looking at me like I have a third head. It's just crazy out here. Okay, don't worry about it. You had to be there. I mean, this is the 60s, sex, drugs, and rock and roll and all that made sense to us at the time. But let me put this in a concise, thing here. If you go on our website, you can find a white paper called The Elements of Heritage Design, Sustaining Family Wealth and Unity Across Generations. It was written by my son and I several years ago, and it contains those things, those 12 elements, that successful families seem to share. And amazingly, it's really similar to the kinds of things that you've been doing if you've been talking about business succession planning. So let me give you some of them. They get together. They spend dedicated time working on the family. This is not getting together for weddings and funerals and birthdays and parties and all that kind of stuff. This is work time where they get together and they work on the business of being a family, not the family business. Number 2, they have shared purpose, shared vision. They have a common vision. Businesses have your vision mission statement. Families have the same thing. Some of them call it vision mission statements. Most of them that we work with call them family purpose statements. Same idea though. They have that target. After they have that target, one of the other elements is they define the roles. They identify the roles that they need to hit those targets. And then, amazingly enough, they mentor from one generation to the next to prepare people for those roles. Is this sounding familiar? Okay, so what I'm telling you is the things that you did for business succession planning are the same things you need to do if you want to prepare your family to be successful 2 generations from now. We know, ugly as it is, that 90% of the time, the money in the family is blown up by the end of 3 generations. So we know that's the norm. If you want to beat those odds, and you want to look at what successful 10% did differently, that's in the white paper, it's those same kind of things. So with that, we're looking at, okay, so now, if this is as important, or more important, as important or more important than your business succession, your family success in 2 generations is as important or more important than your business succession, and you're spending all your time and money and effort over here and none over here, it's time to change. Because that's your desired outcome. If you don't care, you don't care. But if you do care, then, this is something, and it can be done. That's the other thing. It can be done. So take a look at that, and that you'll get that afterwards. It'll be in the materials that we send to you. So that's the foundation I want to start from. The other thing is, people talk about this as, this is the soft side of planning. There's nothing soft about this. There's studies done now that the kids and grandkids, the kids who know who they are, where they came from, their story, their family story and life lessons and all that, are more resilient, measurably more resilient than those who don't. One of the studies is with college students. The other one that's fascinating is after 9/11. Those people after 9/11 who knew their family story, knew where they came from, had that foundation, were more resilient than those who didn't. So this isn't fluff, folks. This is real. So given that, let's get started, okay?